I don't know what you were worried about. I think it really works in the room.
Yeah, it is by far the coolest thing I have ever owned.
The exact time machine that carried actor Rod Taylor from Victorian England into the post-apocalyptic future, where society had splintered into two factions, the subterranean Morlocks, who survived by feasting on the flesh of the gentle surface-dwelling Eloi.
Talk about your chick magnets.
Oh, yeah. The guy who lives next to me is always like, I have a jacuzzi on my balcony. I have a jacuzzi on my balcony. But wait until I tell him, I've got a time machine on my balcony. Stuff that in your Speedo's jacuzzi, Bob.
Gentlemen, I know we said we'd take turns, but I think you'll agree that practicality dictates it remain here.
You can't just keep it here. What if I meet a girl and say, you want to come up and see my time machine? It's at my friend's house. How lame is that?
He's got a point.
All right, I think we're going to need some ground rules. In addition to the expected no shoes in the time machine and no eating in the time machine, I propose that we add pants must be worn at all times in the time machine.
Seconded.
I was gonna put down a towel.
I still want it on my balcony. I say we move it on a bi-monthly basis.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Now, hold on. Bi-monthly is an ambiguous term. Do you mean move it every other month or twice a month?
Twice a month.
Then no.
Okay, every other month.
No.
Sheldon, you can't be selfish. We all paid for it, so it belongs to all of us. Now get out of the way so I can sit in my time machine. Okay, I am setting the dials for March 10th, 1876.
Good choice. Alexander Graham Bell invents the telephone and calls out for Dr. Watson.
Wait a minute. I'd want to see that too.
So when it's your turn, you can.
Yeah, but if we all go back to the same point in time, Bell's lab's going to get very crowded. He'll know something's up.
Also, since the time machine doesn't move in space, you'll end up in 1876 Pasadena.
And even if you can make it to Boston, what are you gonna do? Knock on the door and say to Mrs. Bell, hey, Mrs. Bell, big fan of your husband. Can I come in and watch him invent the telephone?
Mrs. Bell was deaf. She's not even gonna hear you knock.
I have a solution. First, go into the future and obtain a cloaking device.
Ooh, how far into the future?
If I remember correctly, Captain Kirk will steal a cloaking device from the Romulans on stardate 5027.3, which would be January 10th, 2328 by pre-Federation reckoning.
Okay, I am setting the dials for January 10th, 2328. Here we go into the future. That was fun.
It worked. It really worked. They said I was mad, but it worked.
flesh-eating Morlocks!
Sheldon, are you okay?
We have to get rid of the time machine.
It is a little big for the living room, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the problem. It's too big.
I'm glad you agree. I hired some guys to help us move it. Come on in, fellas.
Oh, no, Morlocks! Eat him! Eat him! Ah!